Hello, Colorman lawyers. Hello, Colorman judges. So, this is really getting tedious as more evidence get found out and pronounced the claims of domestic assaults towards population younger by Donald Trump and many Republican Party. So bring their evidence to file to talk of. So now let's go back.
When we talked about it in the Nixon administration, it was referred to as
Hold on, let's go back.
blind ambition. And that's what...
Who is Lion Ambition? Okay, now let's watch. Drink you some tea, bitch. Let's watch.
We got a lot to discuss on this episode of Legal AF, and I think for every single Legal AF from here on out, that's going to be the case. We are going to be very busy. The Department of Justice released purportedly 3 million of the Epstein documents and records on Friday. There seems to be at least 3 million records that are missing that the Trump regime admits to. We don't know if it's more than that, but I'll tell you that there was some bombshells in what was already produced, but I can tell you from an experience as a litigator, usually after people resist producing documents, then turn over a first tranche of a doc dump that's usually used as a moat to hide even worse stuff. And the stuff in this tranche is bad. We'll break it all down. We'll talk about the latest legal fights that are coming out of Minnesota. We'll talk about a George W. Bush appointee who is really just someone in the conservative bar who's out there saying that the Trump regime is engaged in violation after violation of court orders. I think he said that I don't think I've seen an agency violate this many orders in their entire existence as ICE has in the month of January alone. We'll talk about the arrest and the persecution and prosecution of independent journalist Don Lemon, who's at my wedding where Michael Popok was as well. Don Lemon is a close personal friend of mine, so obviously it's a deeply personal issue, but it's a deeply personal issue regardless for all of us because our Constitution is under attack. Our First Amendment's under attack. He was reporting as a journalist. Our Second Amendment is under attack. All amendments are under attack, frankly. We'll break that down. Then we'll take you to Fulton County, where the Donald Trump FBI raided the Georgia election offices, and they took all of the 2020 ballots, despite multiple recounts, despite Donald Trump clearly losing in Georgia in 2020 and in Fulton County. The Trump FBI is focused on that, and they brought in Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, who was there at the raid of the Fulton County election office. And by the way, where was Pam Bondi at the press conference when there was the announcement of releasing the Epstein files? They just had Donald Trump's former criminal defense attorney Todd Blanche there. So what? Pam Bondi recorded a selfie video of herself talking about Don Lemon. Michael Popok, let's get into it. But I'll tell you what, Pam Bondi, it's the word I was looking for. Pam Bondi, the name I was looking for. She's getting nervous. She's going to be on Capitol Hill soon, where she's going to be testifying in the next few weeks. And I know people who know Pam Bondi. I've known Pam Bondi's reputation in the past. Pam Bondi is scared about that hearing. I think she's scared right now in general.
I know people that know Todd Blanche. I just spoke to one the other day that worked with him closely in the U.S. Attorney's Office, and he said to me, I don't recognize this guy that's masquerading as Todd Blanche. There's just something in the water supply, the Kool-Aid container around the Trump administration where they all think they have impunity. They all think they enjoy the immunity protection that Donald Trump alone enjoys, and they sacrifice.
Okay, this right here, immunity. Do you know in the legal case series, Illumini have been rusing up to Common Core behavior of actually finding out more detailed evidence regarding Trump and his so-called partners. I think it's time to get evidence on them, because that must be crucial homework for us to find out more info. So let's watch more. Let's see what else we can talk of. Drink you some tea. If you smoke cigarettes, smoke you a cigarette. Now let's watch.
Their professional credentials and oaths and ethics on the altar of their ambition. And when we talked about it in the Nixon administration, it was referred to as blind ambition. And that's what we've been watching. You and I joked before I got on, we half joked before we got on to record today, when are the impeachment hearings starting? And to give people a little bit of solace, a little bit of comfort, a little moment of zen here on Midas Touch and Legal AF before we kick it off, there are going to be repercussions and impeachment hearings and perhaps convictions at the Senate, depending upon the results of the midterm elections, and criminal investigations of these very people who are currently in the Department of Justice, who are currently in the intelligence community, who are currently in the cabinet when adults and patriots return to the White House and the Department of Justice. So there's a sort of there's a split screen going on here. We're watching in real time, in real life, how federal courts, public interest groups, the public, are expressing themselves to try to control on the fly an out of control, rogue Department of Justice, the most corrupt in our history and administration, that makes the Nixon criminal administration look like a kindergarten.
So you mean to tell me even in the Department of Justice, they're taking finally protests in their brain to really secure the pedophile president? So now you understand the Department of Justice series, what they're trying to think they're dismissing to get guilty charges. Since ICE agents are killing society citizens with no ethically criminal behavior allegations towards. So I want to say thank you. Have a good day.